Today we're going to be giving you 5 tips on defeating procrastination. It's one of the most requested topics that I should cover. And we're going to start off with a scientific study that came out of the book Willpower by Roy Baumeister and colleagues. And the study found that students who procrastinate end up performing worse across the board for tests, homework assignments, and class projects. So it's worth defeating. So let's get into tip number 1. Make it so that you lock yourself away and you can't do anything else but the thing that you need to do. By forcing this type of either or situation, you get so bored that you have to at least make some progress on the activity. And once you get started, then you're making progress and you can start chipping away at it. Number 2, and I think this one's related to number 1, you have to time when you have a good amount of energy and you're not exhausted or depleted or in a state where you can't get work done. Studies have shown that willpower depletion is a real thing. And so if you find yourself more irritable, more aggressive, more impulsive than usual, especially if it's notable, that means you're probably depleted on glucose and willpower, which usually happens towards the end of the day. So you need to time the opportune times when you can actually chip away at what you're procrastinating on. And that's not just to, procrastinate more on it and say, oh, it's the end of the day, but plan out when you have those moments, and that's when you go ahead and do it and you improve. And a little extra tip is if you eat protein when you're depleted, studies show that kind of helps increase your willpower if it is exhausted. It actually works better than sugar. Tip number 3. The third tip is around how to chip away at it. I believe that small chunks of chipping away at it beat large chunks of just trying to nail at it. And so for me, what I've always done, by the way, follow me, we're at a beach here. What I've always done is I'll chip away at it in small chunks. I think procrastination for me and many others starts in your head because you build up this idea that you have to get some 8-9 hour project done in one go. And that's so intimidating that you don't consider anything else. However, when you really think about it, it's oftentimes easier and better to chunk it into small things, whatever that is for you, 20-minute chunks, 2-hour chunks. And by planning those out in digestible amounts, you can get a lot more done. Tip number 4. Okay, this one is, I think, even more crucial because for procrastination, it comes down to really your motivation, your energy levels, and your passion or discomfort with actually doing something about it. Make sure you have a set time and a plan for doing these things in a way that you can actually find some enjoyment from them. If you hate it, if you constantly hate it, all the tips in the world can only get you so far. So some people, they gather friends, they gather classmates, and doing it with them is more fun. Other times, they find ways of turning it into a Jeopardy trivia game. But if you can make it at least somewhat fun or interesting to you, it won't be as much work. And that's really a key tip that I think a lot of people forsake, and they're just trying to drill at a topic that they really hate. I mean, change majors or something, because ultimately, unless you're forced to do it because you're still in like middle school or high school, like it's just something that's tough. And then the 5th tip on procrastination is on energy levels, motivation, and focus. Now, in the book Willpower by Roy Baumeister, they talk about how people who procrastinate tend to also have a lot of more anxiety, and while in the short term they have less health issues because they're not anxious or depleting willpower. In the long term, they screw up because then they get health issues because now they're way behind on studies or they've missed deadlines. Studies found and quoted in a book discovered that procrastinators oftentimes drastically fail to estimate deadlines, and they overestimate their ability, they underestimate the time frame to complete assignments, and that causes more anxiety and stress and issues. So what you should do instead is actually work towards creating predictable, reasonable, accurate estimates of how long your work's done. Now, how do you do that when you chronically underestimate? Look at your past, look at your history. If you look at past assignments, school projects, and so forth, you'll realize, oh, that's how long a similar project actually took. I actually need to start earlier, or I need to get it done. Procrastinator studies have shown constantly miss deadlines, or wait until the last second and sometimes miss. And if you want to avoid that, you got to start doing something different. So thanks for watching. Oh, check out that beach right there. Beautiful. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.